We tend to think of lions and elephants, and unless you go to Pilanesberg or Kruger, you're not seeing wildlife. But you forget about all the birds, even the hardy-daws, the plovers that are around us. We still have snakes around us. There's a lot of frogs around us, meerkats, mongoose around, rabbits, jackal frequently go out at night, and particularly the northern suburbs, and you hear jackal calling. The wildlife is here.
Well, these guidelines that you've formulated now over the years, it also comes from quite an intensive process of collecting data driven by the EWT. And I understand a lot of data, or a lot of that data actually comes from within the borders of the Greater Johannesburg. How's that possible?
It's absolutely possible, because here's where we have the eyes and ears. We started looking at roads and animals being killed on roads a few years ago. A colleague of mine, Wendy Collinson, did a master's on that. And we realized that this is a much bigger problem than we realized. And it's not just about animals being killed, it's also human safety. And so what we've done over time is we've asked people to start collecting data, send us data so we can start to figure out where the problems exist, what the problem species are, and importantly, what we can do about it. And of course, in Johannesburg, people have eyes and ears open on the road all the time. They submit data, and we've been amazed at just how much data we've got and what the variety of species and what gets submitted by people. It's really incredible.
Now this data that was collected in the bigger Johannesburg area, what does that actually tell us about wildlife in Johannesburg, and then of course the conflict between humans and wildlife on the roads in the city?
It tells us there's a lot of wildlife around, which we were quite pleasantly surprised to see just how much is around. And then we started to look at, well, what's driving these incidences? Why are animals being killed on the road? Is it speed? And surprisingly, it's very often not speed. It's people looking around and paying attention to other things or the car in front of them, and they just don't see the birds or animals in the road. There is also an element of they just can't brake in time, or something darts out in a road in front of them and it does get killed. And you know, we want to make sure that safety is a concern, so we keep looking at things like moon phases on bright moonlit evenings. Are you more likely to hit something because animals are more active than on dark nights when animals are less active?
Do we perhaps have anything like endangered species or species that one don't see often?
Yes, we've picked up reports of Cape vultures, bullfrogs which are endangered. We've had striped polecats, a lot of mongoose and meerkats that pop up. There's a variety of rabbits too, which are not endangered, but we do like to make sure they're there. And of course hedgehogs, which are very endangered.
And in terms of this information that you now have gathered, how has that been put to use in order to, especially I guess in the case of endangered animals, to kind of protect them, make the roads safer for them?
The concept of road ecology as such is quite a new science to South Africa. So in some instances we're still experimenting with what works best where. But what we've done is drawn a lot from overseas information and what's worked overseas, and looked at how we can use that and adapt it to a South African condition. And it's often as simple as putting a culvert under the road in the right place. There's along the N14 out near Lanseria side, they have a frog pond with the highway going across it, and there is a tunnel underneath that which allows the bullfrogs to cross safely underneath.